Red Faction Guerrilla was one of the hidden greats of the last generation, a game that received a fairly solid amount of praise from critics, but unfortunately many folks actually missed out on. Thankfully, THQ Nordic have decided to re-release the title with a range of improvements, bringing it more in line with the current generation. The Remastered edition, pun intended, features the same gameplay fans know and love, along with improved visuals, completely reworked graphics, lighting and a smoother 60fps performance on all consoles. The game places you in the shoes of Alec Mason, voiced by Troy Baker, as he aids the Red Faction in overthrowing the oppressive Earth Defense Force, or EDF, on Mars. The story itself remains as underwhelming as it did back in 2009, when the game originally released, and the cutscenes certainly look dated. But hey, that's not really why any of us are here now, is it? Guerrilla introduced what the original developers, Volition, refer to as Geomod 2.0 technology, aka full physics-based destruction, and a whole lot of it. What makes Guerrilla stand out from the other open-world third-person action shooters is that impressive destruction. Back in 2009 there was nothing else like it, a game that allows you to destroy just about every building or structure in sight. Fast forward 9 years and the game still holds up strong in this regard. Unfortunately, there's still not much on the market like it. The game equips you with a myriad of explosives, from remote mines to two-handed rocket cannons, along with your trusty hefty hammer. Every building in the game can be destroyed in any way you choose, whether it's tactfully bringing down the supports causing it to crumble, or simply driving your truck at full speed straight through the middle of it. Guerrilla is a playground of destruction. Mercenaries, eat your heart out. Gameplay wise, the remastered edition remains the same as the original, but surprisingly it still holds strong, despite how much time has passed. Gunplay feels fairly loose, with many of the game's non-explosive weapons lacking in punch, but this was the case back in 2009. Where Guerrilla really shines though is in the explosives. Blowing stuff up just never gets old. The game's explosives are as satisfying as they come, dropping a bunch of remote explosives at the foot of a tower and then pulling the trigger whilst walking away and witnessing the aftermath is a sight to behold every single time. The physics-based destruction guarantees that the mayhem remains unique. Everything reacts as you'd expect. Towers will topple, bridges will buckle, it's just downright fun. And I'm honestly shocked nothing has attempted to recreate and improve on this style of gameplay in the past 9 years since the game originally released. Visually, Kaiko Games have clearly put in the work here. I played the game on an Xbox One X and it looks great, particularly considering its age. The lighting has evidently been overhauled and improved dramatically with sun shafts and hazy headlights. Explosions look great, especially when there's a range of effects popping off during hectic moments. Textures have also received some heavy reworking, with some pretty high-res textures on offer here. Some of the elements actually end up looking slightly different to the originals, which most people won't notice unless viewing side by side like I did. The result is a game that looks far superior to the original. Outside of a full remake, Keiko have clearly done about as much as possible with the game's aging technology. Character models do look a little weak with some fairly rigid animations, however even in performance mode, running at 1800p on the X, the game looks super sharp with clean image quality. The game runs much better on all consoles too, targeting 60fps as a base. If you're on the original Xbox you'll see a 900p resolution, whereas the PS4 hits 1080p and the Pro offers both 1500p 60fps and 4K 30fps options. Finally, the X version tested here provides 1800p 60fps and 4K 30fps options. Performance remained decent throughout my time with the game, occasionally dipping when things got hectic, but I never felt that the dips hindered my experience of the game though. It's a mostly 60fps experience through a normal play. Unfortunately the game's environments don't hold up so well to modern standards. In an era of increasingly impressive game worlds, Guerrilla's feels a little bland and uninspiring. So do the game's side quests. Rescue a couple of friendlies or defend an area for a few minutes. Over the past generation we've seen more and more open worlds include interesting side quests. It's an area where the game definitely starts to show its age. The destruction side missions however are just as fun as they were back in the day. You're tasked with destroying a structure in as little time as possible with limited resources. It's a blast, literally. The game's full original multiplayer suite is included here too, an area of the game that I actually found surprisingly fun back when the original launched. There's a bunch of modes on offer including Siege, which pits two teams attacking and defending structures, and the game's destruction adds a lot to make the experience far more interesting than it has any right to be. With all of the original and DLC maps included here too. The multiplayer introduces backpacks, which provide the player with different abilities such as jetpacks, speed boost, heals, and the aptly named Rhino. It's a lot of fun. Hopefully this version will breathe some new life into this. PC players will actually receive the remastered version completely free of charge for owning the original game on Steam, a commendable move by the game's publisher. Otherwise, the game has a reduced price of $26.99 in the UK. If you didn't play Guerrilla back in the day, it's absolutely worth considering checking the remastered version out. Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered is undoubtedly the best way to experience the game. The visual improvements make a tangible difference, and the gameplay still holds up surprisingly well today. Sure, the gunplay could feel a little tighter and the environments could be a little bit more interesting along with the game's side quests, but Guerrilla's explosive sandbox is just as fun today as it was 9 years ago.